Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Not as per usual, but coming live today on Monday for covering for Brenda. She said she couldn't make it today, and I plan to stream the deck that I ended up getting 10th place with this past Columbus Pioneer Classic on Thursday. So I figured I would take her spot. That way I can still get in one more set of vintage cubes for everybody at home. So, as per usual, we're going to be hopping into 2 vintage cubes tonight and seeing how things go. But before we get hopping into that queue, as per usual, I want to hop over to momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com and tell you guys to make sure you pick up your singles from there. If you're looking for any form of Magic card, from snow basics to basic wastes to cards for your staples and your formats, momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com has you covered. If you're watching on YouTube in the future, you can check down in that description box below for all the links that I'm going to be talking about, as well as tune in live to our Twitch sometimes if you would like to interact and have a good time with us. On top of that, if you're watching live on YouTube right now, or live on Twitch right now, or on YouTube in the future, you can check out our Facebook page and give us a like at Mom's Basement Games. You can give us a follow on Twitter at Mom's Basement MTG, or you can hop back over to our YouTube channel where you can find the best standard, modern, legacy, vintage, commander, pauper, pioneer, and now vintage cube content. On top of that, I would super appreciate it if you gave me a follow on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at RichardTMTG. I talk magic, memes, music, League of Legends, anything else you want to talk about. I'm always willing to chat. Hit me up on there. And if you're looking for any other form of social media to find us at, you can find Mom's Basement Games on Instagram at Mom's Basement Games, or you can find me on Instagram at RichieT2196. But with that, I think we're going to go ahead and hop into the queue so we can get some vintage cube going on. And oh wow, we're automatically in. So what do we got going on here? Avenger of Zendikar is not a bad green card. Dak Faden's pretty good in most archetypes. I really enjoy Kiki Jiki and going Splinter Twin, so that's a pretty strong first pick when it comes to me. Llanowar Elves is very good for the green deck. You can almost never go wrong drafting a Llanowar Elves. Desperate Ritual is not a bad option for Storm. And Mox Diamond is a pretty versatile extra ramp spell. All that being said, I think I'm personally going to go for the Kiki Jiki. Again, like I said, it's a personal pick of mine. I love drafting the twin decks, and we'll see where they end up going. Doesn't look like anybody's really in our pod that is worth noting. Alright, what do we got going on pack 2 here? Gideon's not bad for the white decks. I've seen some cool Fallen Shinobi decks, but I'm not 100% sold on this card. Field of Ruin isn't a bad land, can hurt people's mana, can also fix ours. Seething Song, not a bad card for Storm. Putrid Imp potentially can go into Reanimator. Brainstorm's never a bad card, but it's also not that great unless you get ways to shuffle your library. Worn Power Stone is some decent ramp early, and I think that's going to be our pick. None of these other cards are all that exciting for me. Like I said, Seething Song isn't bad for like Storm, but you're not even guaranteed to always play red. Putrid Imp is a pretty good card for the Reanimator deck, but I don't really see any reason to just like try to force Reanimator here yet. I think we're pretty early, and I think Worn Power Stone can be a little bit more flexible than that card. Alright, what do we got going on here? Ooh, baby. So we already have the Kiki, which means this Deceiver Exarch is a combo, and I think is definitely going to be the pick. If this wasn't here, Karn Liberated is another pretty powerful card. Generally goes into a lot of decks in Cube. Blade Splicer is good for the aggro decks. Tendrils of Agony is good for Storm. Jackal Pup is good for aggro. Underground Siege is always a good dual land. And if you're a creature-based deck, Sword of Fire and Ice is really good. But we're going to slam this Deceiver Exarch and we're going to twin some people. Alright, what do we got going on here? We got Balance, which isn't a bad card. We got Coercive Portal, which is a pretty solid card in general. Beaumont Courier, a little aggressive card draw. Creeping Tar Pit, decent mana fixing. We got ourselves a Damnation for board wipes. A Spell Pierce for some early interaction. I think it's between the Spell Pierce and the Creeping Tar Pit and the Stoneforge Mystic. Stoneforge is a good tempo card, which is what this deck's going to be. But so is Spell Pierce and Creeping Tar Pit. I typically lean towards the lands, but we're not 100% to be blue-black. So I think we're just going to go ahead and take this Spell Pierce here. I'm never unhappy to play a Spell Pierce in this cube. Alright, what do we got here? We got Iona. Force of Will is pretty good, especially if we can get into the deck. Lumbering Falls is good mana fixing. Zealous Conscripts is another combo piece with Kiki-Jiki, so I think we're just going to take that and like really cement that we're the twin combo deck. If this wasn't here, I think Fire and Ice or Remand would probably be the pick. Probably leaning more towards Remand, but we're going to take a second Deceiver Exarch-esque effect. Alright, then what do we got here? We got some Splash Yak, I'm always a big fan of. Wish we would have taken that Creeping Tar Pit now, but you know, you never know what's going to come around. We can go full hard. Resto is another card that combos with Kiki-Jiki. That gives us our third color to be Jeskai. And also, it's pretty splashable. I think we're actually going to take this Resto. We're gonna really go hard, and I'm really excited because again, Twin is my favorite archetype in this cube, so we're gonna go hard into the Twin deck, I think. All right, what do we got going on here? Blast Zone isn't a bad land. Fiery Confluence is a decent removal spell. Gifts us some card advantage. Spellseeker could potentially find us like a cantrip that we're looking for. I think I'm leaning towards the Fiery Confluence, but I'm not... I guess Spellseeker already has Spell Pierce to grab. Maybe we just take the Spellseeker. Yeah, but Fiery Confluence is such a better card. I'm not really thrilled about like either of these, but we'll play them if we need them. Selfless Spirit's good. Path is a really good removal spell. So is Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning keeps us in a lot more red, and our splashes are pretty light. But I think Path is a much better removal spell. So I think we're going to just go ahead and take the Path here. Gideon's a solid option, since we're already probably playing white. It does give us a few 5-drops. I think for that reason we're going to take the Sower of Temptation. It's another really good card, and it also doesn't raise our curve that much. Kind of try to centralize our curve a little bit. Alright, here we have a Linvala. We have a Field of Ruin, which I actually think is the pick here. It might seem weird to play a colorless land in this deck, but it helps fix our mana It helps fix our mana a little bit, and I think we're gonna really need to get our mana working in this deck, considering we're Jeskai with a triple red 5-drop. Sphinx Rev is a solid option that I'm willing to play in these decks. Just another instant speed, even if you're only drawing like one card, but it scales so well. Ooh, we wield the Creeping Tar Pit. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be playing black. But I also don't really think we're going to play a Beaumont Courier, so we'll take it for now. Ooh, we wield the Fire and Ice. That's really good. Ooh, Lightning Helix is good early interaction for us. Alright, so we're getting somewhere with this Jeskai deck. We got some good early interaction. We got our combos going. We would really like to find a Splinter Twin so we can go full infinite. Alright, what do we got here? Ooh. And we got a Mana Drain that's really good. Batterskull and Inferno Titan are interesting, but I think Mana Drain is a lot more important for our deck. Frantic Search is okay. That being said, I think our mana base is going to be really tight. And as good of a card as Mana Drain is, I actually don't see us having many mana sinks for it. And I think our mana is going to be so intense that I think this Wandering Fumarole actually means more to us here than this Mana Drain. I think it's really important that we make our mana work instead of just like having a bunch of these powerful spells, but then like not being able to capitalize on Mana Drain because all of our cards need like double or triple red and then also like double blue. So I think we're gonna begrudgingly take the Wandering Fumarole here to try to fix our mana base a little bit more. Alright, what do we got here? Imperial Recruiter's pretty good. It tutors up most of our combo pieces. Treasure Recruit. Ooh, Pestermite is another combo piece. But Imperial Recruiter also gets Kiki Jiki. I think we're going to take the Imperial Recruiter because I think having more copies of Kiki Jiki is actually more important than having the extra Pestermite. And I think it's pretty likely the Pestermite might actually wheel. I'd also be interested in like this Lightning Bolt or this Unexpectedly Absent or this Treasure Cruise in this pack. So I think there's a chance we can wheel something here. Ooh, Sacred Foundry is exactly what we're looking for. Ooh, Azorius Signet's actually better than Sacred Foundry here. Gives us a little ramp, helps our curve a little bit. Sacred Foundry is really good, but we're not going to wheel either of these cards. They're pretty high picks. The card we're hoping to wheel is probably like Mother of Runes or Young Pyromancer, maybe the Caracas even. But when it comes to either having the land or having the Signet, I'd definitely rather have the Signet, even though we are more red-based. I think just having some ramp in this deck is going to go pretty far, considering we have a lot of 4s in our deck already. Alright, what do we got here? Ooh, we got a lot here. So we got, like, really, like, these spells are okay. You know, I'd play a Thing in the Ice, I'd play a Flame Tongue, I'd play a Firebolt. But we have an interesting point where we have 3 potential dual lands. We have 2 actual duels and then this Polluted Delta, which I think we either take the Plateau or the Tundra over. But I'm not sure which we want more. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. I think we're definitely more red heavy. So I think we want the Plateau. Torrential Gearhulk's really good. We do have a couple good instants to flash back with it. Expansion Explosion is really good. Mystical Tutor is also worth considering. I don't really think we want the colorless ramp that much. And I think our curve is high enough that maybe we just want this Expansion Explosion as like some early interaction. Copying someone's instants or sorcery and also just like kind of being a big spell on its own. That being said, I think it does have a lot less of an effect than Torrential Gearhulk. But I think that's fine. I think we just want to fit the curve a little better. Chrome Mox is really good. P and K. But Scolding Tarn fetches 3 colors. So we're definitely going to take Scolding Tarn here. Again, we really need to fix our mana base more than we need these spells. And Chrome Mox is actually a pretty high-powered spell for our deck. But I think the Scolding Tarn is a little bit more powerful. Hey, AOK47, what's up, man? Alright, what do we got going on here? Ooh, we got another fetch land. This is really good. Our mana base is starting to fall into place. Vendilion Click is a very powerful card that I really like to play in this style of archetype. But, again, I need to try to make our mana work if we're going to be Jeskai. And I think having the Resto makes it worth splashing the white into this deck. Alright, we got a Lyra, which is a really good card. A Sword of Warren piece. A Hangerback Walker are like the 3 cards we're interested in. I think Lyra has the biggest impact. Also combos really well with Resto. Yeah, I know that you're Sully, man. Trust me, I know who you are, man. But yeah, it works well with the Resto as well as just being a good backup plan. So I'm kind of in for the Lyra here. Alright, here we have the Inferno Titan. The Winds of Abandon as a good removal spell. Frantic Search. But I don't really think we're into that. I think it's Winds or Inferno. And I think our top end is pretty solid, so we just kind of want a little extra removal in the Winds. Alright, let's see. Ooh, we got the Pestermite, the Bolt, the Unexpectedly Absent, and the Treasure Cruise. Everything wheeled here. Do we need another combo piece? I feel like it just never hurts to have extra combo pieces. Just makes it way more consistent. I could see, like, wanting to take the Bolt there, but we're going to take this. Wow. We wheeled the Sacred Foundry. That's insane for us. Our mana base is really starting to come together. What's our instant sorcery count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like 8? I can see a world where we play a Thing in the Ice. I mean, we don't really need more top end, but we'll definitely play a... a Torrential Gearhulk in our deck. Alright, and what do we got going on here? Ooh, we got Jace the Mind Sculptor, which is good. Celestial Colonnade, which fixes our mana. Volcanic Island, which fixes our mana. And Show and Tell, which could be a potential backup plan. I think the cards we're looking at here is either Volcanic Island, because it fixes our mana better than Celestial Colonnade. And it's also fetchable off our fetches. Or the Show and Tell as a backup plan. And I think, yet again, we're going to pass the super powerful cards. Jace is also really powerful, but our curve is kind of there. I think we're going to pass the powerful card again in order to take the mana fixing, because I think that's what this deck really needs. We have our spells, and upgrading our spells is important, but so is upgrading our mana base. Alright, what do we got here? Mind Twist. Nahiri is really good. Emery. We have the Splinter Twin. We have Counter Spell. And we have Steam Vents. I can't pass the Twin. So the difference between Twin and one of those other cards is Twin is a second combo piece for basically everything we've been drafting. This is almost the perfect Twin deck, if we're being honest. The Steam Vents would be nice to help our mana base again. Our mana base is gonna be kind of the main focus of our deck, but we really need to have our combo. And while we already have the Kiki Jiki, Splinter Twin is a more cost-effective and also just another redundant copy of that at this point. Alright, we got Brazen Borrower, which is really good. Flooded Strand to fix our mana even more. Or Shelldock Isle. Shelldock's another powerful card, but I think we're going to take the third fetch in our colors, and again, like, our mana base is going to be perfect. We're somehow, I think we're like the only person drafting like this style of deck, because we wield Sacred Foundry, for example, and we've picked up a bunch of good dual lands. So our mana base is just excellent right now, which is good because we are really trying to push our colors. Alright, what do we got here? We have Teferi, that's pretty good. Frost Titan's not bad. Siege Gang and a Braid are good. Preordain is solid. I feel like it's probably correct to take the Preordain, but Teferi is such a good card on his own. Nah, I think we like have our late game set up. If we wheel the Teferi, that'd be cool, but I'm gonna just take the Preordain and try to help our consistency out. Try to give ourselves a little bit better of a curve. Alright, what do we got here? Arcane, Gideon's pretty good. Control Magic is solid. Factor Fiction's pretty good. Wall of Omens is pretty good. I think it's between Wall and Factor Fiction, and I tend to lean towards the cheaper cards, so I think we're going to go with Wall here. Again, our deck is really starting to form out. Our mana base is actually going to work out pretty well. So I'm excited to see this deck in action. Again, like I've said before multiple times, these twin style decks are probably my favorite decks in Vintage Cube. Alright, so here we have a Council's Judgment, which is pretty good. Grim Lavamancer is really good. Mystic Confluence is one of the most powerful cards in this cube. Tolarian Academy is really good, but we don't really have artifacts to pick that up. Thraben Inspector is another good one-drop for our deck. Yeah, I think we're... man. It's between these three. I think Council's Judgment has just such a high upside that even though it doesn't help our curve as much, I think it's worth taking. Phoenix is good. Baral is good. Legion's Landing is good. Baby Teferi is great for our deck. The reason Baby Teferi, you like Confluence, I could see it, but like we already have a really high curve with like Sphinx Rev, Torrential Gearhulk, Lyra Dawnbringer, the Kiki-Jiki, and Zealous Conscripts. I think this is a pretty easy Teferi Time Raveler, because if we ever play Teferi, it lives, and then we just get to combo off for free. That's going to be huge. Alright, Containment Priest isn't a bad sideboard card. Jace Bellerin is pretty good. Incinerate's a solid removal spell. I think we actually have to figure out cuts in our deck at this point. I think one of our weakest cards is maybe even just Sphinx's Revelation is one of our weaker cards. I think we'll take Containment Priest for the sideboard. I don't really think we're going to play any of these cards. I'll gladly take a Celestial Colonnade for our mana base. Maybe it's Torrential Gearhulk. Do we have any that many powerful instants or sorceries to copy? No, we have like 2. Yeah, I think we actually trimmed the Gearhulk. Yeah, we're going to take the Colonnade. Fix our mana even more. And here he's good but has no target. Kind of thinking about just taking the top here. And we do have 3 fetch lands. I can see playing top in this deck. Brightling's a solid sideboard card for us for against aggro. Maybe we board in Siege Gang sometimes. Maybe we board in a Dismember. Whatever. Sorry, I had something stuck in the back of my throat. So we got like 2 cards we need to cut here. Really want to sort by CMC for now. The top is really good just because we have a bunch of fetch lands. I think all of our early removal spells are very good. Imperial Recruiter is good for the combo. Sower of Temptation is just a good card. Man, like everything in our deck is just good. Maybe the Expansion Explosion isn't that great. What are our 2 cuts here? Maybe the Sphinx Rev is worse than, like, the Expansion Explosion. It also is just, like, white was meant to be our splash color, but I actually don't think it is anymore. I think we're pretty even. And is this thing in the ice good? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think this thing in the ice just, like, isn't that great. If we want it, we can always board it in. But I think I like how this looks a lot. This deck looks really solid. Alright, sort by color. Now let's get all these dual lands in here. Not Tar Pit. Field of Ruin. Flooded Strand. Plateau. Sacred Foundry. Tarn. Vulcan Fumarole. We have 8 lands left already? Wow. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we're actually pretty even when it comes to mana. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 red. 5 white. Wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue. So we had a white, a blue. Let me zero these out and then just like work my math. So we had an island and a plains. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 2 of each. And I think that's our mana base. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that seems perfect. Let's give the old Jeskai Twin a try, shall we? I think this list is very good. I think we drafted really well. And let's see if we can get rewarded for it. I think definitely nobody else was trying to play Splinter Twin, which is always very good. I've had definitely had some drafts where I've noticed some people cut me off when I go to try to wheel something, which, you know, they probably felt the same way when I do it to them. So this hand's great. We get we don't have a fetchable blue-white land, so we get a fetchable blue land with this. Try to preordain into a combo piece and some extra land drops, and then go from there. Island from our opponent and pass. We draw a Spell Pierce, not bad. We're going to go ahead and fetch here. Grab ourselves a Volcanic Island and cast Preordain. Yeah, I think we're... Are we in for the mountain, actually? Maybe we bottom the mountain. Bottom mountain, top field, pass. We can try to like set up a turn to field our opponent. Ooh, there's our plains. So our mana base is online. Go ahead and pass the turn to them. Alright, no play from our opponent. What if we go ahead and try to ice your island? Alright, you were F6'd. Cool. That means I should be free to stick this to Fairy. And then, do we take him down? I don't see any reason not to. We kind of just want to try to draw into a combo piece now. Now we just need something to combo with this Twin or Exarch. Or not Twin or Exarch, Twin or Kiki. Dang, our opponent's deck is deep. Alright, so we'll tick up to Fairy. And then we will just go ahead and Council's Judgment this. That way we don't let them draw a card. We'll grab a Plateau. Leovold has gone away. Bye-bye, Leo. Oh, shoot. I wasn't looking. That was my bad. Oh, well, they had the mana anyways. Ooh, that's good. Let's see, if I field our opponent... We're still kind of a land off, unfortunately. Let's... Spell Pierce. And then field doesn't do it. But what if we... Deceiver... Untap a land, we're one off. I think we're supposed to Spell Pierce this. And then hope to draw into a land. Come on, Daddy needs a land. That's not a land. What do we do now? What if... I take your Oko. Create my own food. And then attack you for 3. How would that make you feel, opponent? Night of Autumn to be a big body. Oh, come on. Give me the land. Oh, wait. They're just dead, right? Because we just play Kiki. Yeah, we're twinning, baby. Alright. That's what I like to see. I love this deck. So we're against like 4-color pile. What's not that great against a 4-color pile deck? I think Fiery Confluence might be worse than like Siege Gang Commander or probably Sphinx's Rev. And then Lightning Helix seems pretty alright. Yeah, I think that's all we want to change. Maybe Lyra's or maybe Sower. Sower's probably not actually that good, right? Trade out Sower for Gearhulk. Then again, we don't really have good Gearhulk targets. Maybe trade out Sower for like Siege Gang. I can get behind this. Siege Gang is also just like a good body to get off Recruiter. Alright, what do we got going on here? We got some ramp and some good spells. I'm in. Play this fetch and pass. Grab Sacred Foundry. Alright, hoping to draw some lands here soon. Well, that's rude. Oh no, oh no. That's what I get for trying to do too much at once, I guess. My bad, chat. Just, you know, F6 through a turn for no reason. Should have an extra land in play. Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter now, because we missed a land drop, so. I think we just have to get rid of this Dark Confidant. Can't really let our opponent get value off it. Probably need another... Well, no, we have to get Plateau if we want to duel. White, 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 blue. I would like to vote to get rid of Dark Confidant. I will take 2. Opponent will fetch. Play a portal. Kinda just like don't have anything to do. We're like a blue mana off, unfortunately. I would like to vote Carnage. Hopefully we draw land and we can just like slam this Lyra. That's awkward. I guess this like forces him to take the Condemn though. It's probably like the only card he would have taken anyways. Probably should have just condemned it. Interesting. Tank Sphinx Rev. Yeah, I mean, we're just getting punished for, like, everything. We had that F6, and then, we didn't condemn there, unfortunately. How do you hold priority again? Control. Alright, this play, kinda hurts, but I think it's what we need to do. So this play draws our opponent 2 cards, but also saves us a bunch of life. Next turn we can play a Lyra. I suppose we can just take that with Zealous. Bounce the Coercive Portal. Oh well. Now we can't bounce the portal. But I suppose we can just kill it with Zealous. Yeah. Oh, that was a really... I'm so dumb. That was a really bad pick. I guess it wouldn't have mattered. Our opponent's deck seems really rough for us to beat. Wish Claw Talisman. Let's just try to get this Teferi off the table. Alright, Teferi's down. We're gonna vote Carnage even though it doesn't matter. Maybe our opponent decks. Maybe that's how we win. Azorius Signet. Animate Colonnade. It's gonna copy Colonnade. Yeah, it is. It's a cute interaction. I assume we're dead, but like, may as well make them have it. Their deck seems kind of rough for us. It's like back when Twin would face Jund in Modern. They had a really hard time with like all these just pile of good cards decks. It's really funny to see on a land. So our opponent's probably tutoring for a removal spell here. Yeah, that does it. Do we change anything? Maybe we want Brightling? Maybe Brightling's better than Siege Gang. Yeah, let's try this. I would like to be on the play. Yeah, we can keep this. We really need to find a little more action, but this hand has all of our colors. We got Fire and Ice and Winds of Abandon as interaction. Flooded Strands, there you go. Opponent fetches with their Flooded Strand to get a Scrubland. You know what they say about Scrubland? Same thing they say about Badland. It's really plateauing people's legacy careers. Alright, so end of turn we're going to fetch. Grab ourselves the old plateau. Then we're going to fire this Monastery Mentor. Sorry, Mentor, hate to do it to you, but you're fired, bud. Mentor didn't quite meet its quota. Search for Azcanta. And Wishclaw Talisman. Alright, well we haven't quite found those spells we were looking for, but we do have this rev that we're building up. Same with this expansion explosion. In the middle of the Council's Judgment. Opponent activates the talisman. Probably gonna get a Teferi to bounce the talisman back to their hand. Oko to Elkit. That's cute. Interesting, they choose to make a food token. So that means they're fine with us tutoring. Well, since we get to tutor, we may as well rev for one. Alright, well, that makes what we're gonna get pretty easy. What if we zealous conscript their island? Then use it to preordain. Path Brightling. Nah, I don't really think we're in for either of those. Alright, top's not the worst. We will attack Oko for 3. So next turn, unless our opponent holds something up, we can play land, tutor Kiki, play Kiki. And if they hold anything up, we can just try to play a fair plan. Where we can explosion something for 2 maybe. Oko's gonna oak his food. And then pass the turn. Well, what if we play a top? And then we spin said top. And then what if we draw a card with said top? And then what if we cast it to fairy with that top? And then we bounced a food with said top. Then we fetch. Grab a volcanic island. And play the top. And then we pass the turn. So, opponent chose the draw card. If they don't answer the zealous conscripts, they lose the game. Or Teferi. They have to answer one of the two. Alright, Teferi does answer that. Teferi bounced the talisman. Interesting. I suppose this is an answer because now we don't have the Kiki Jiki right away. Let's start by plussing Teferi. Then we can go to combat. we can attack his Teferi. And then we can pass the turn. Teferi is a fair and interactive magic card. Just remember that, kids. Make your Signet into an artifact, sure. Or into an elk. Blue, blue, red, red, 1, 2, 3. And then we will kill your Signet. Alright, if we draw a land, our opponent dies. Alright, that does it. So we Imperial Recruiter. Grab Kiki-Jiki, plus our Teferi for good measure. Cast said Kiki-Jiki. Make a copy of Zealous Conscripts to untap Kiki-Jiki. And now we're off to the races. Alright, 1-0 with a really sweet twin deck. I think this is definitely a really good drafted twin deck. We definitely got like everything. Like we've seen a late twin, we got the Kiki, which we first picked. We got, I think, every combo piece with Kiki-Jiki. Not sure if we're missing any. So, GLHF opponent. I would like to be on the play. Yeah, we'll keep this. The Signets are white mana, which is kind of awkward. Or the Signets are blue mana, which is kind of awkward. But, I mean, you know, you do what you got to sometimes. Yep, you have a Ponder opponent. Deck has a lot of good interaction in it. Not so much interaction for combo, unfortunately. Alright, yet another combo piece. We will go ahead and play a Signet, and then pass. Hopefully we'll draw a land off turn or off the wall. Well, that's rude. Alright, come on, deck. Give us a land. Yikes. Magic the Gathering at its finest. Sometimes you brick on land drops. I think this might be a mirror match. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a mirror. We'll find out based off what they get with us. Snapcaster Mage. Maybe not the mirror. Oh my. This is not exactly the way we drew it up, but that's magic sometimes, you know. Sometimes you miss land drops and die because of it. That being said, we're not in the worst spot for how many land drops we've missed. Snapcaster Ponder, I assume, is what's about to happen. Yep. Alright, with the Ponder on the stack. We're going to do 1 and 1 to your creatures. We're going to fire your creatures with that Ponder on the stack. Don't want to give them the chance to draw like a Force of Will if they happen to have it. Alright, we drew our 3rd land, but unfortunately it still doesn't really help us cast anything. This is also just the risk of the 3-color deck sometimes. Like, our mana base is great, but sometimes it just doesn't matter. Oh no. Not like this. That's just rude, opponent. Guess we'll go ahead and path it. I think our opponent's just playing like Jeskai good stuff. Oh, we'll play our land and pass. Yeah, I don't really. I think we're probably like sub 10% to win this game at this point. Especially if our opponent plays anything good, I'm just gonna concede. Come on, opponent, just play a good card so I can scoop. Put me out of my misery. So how was everybody's weekend? I had a pretty good weekend. Went to Columbus with a group of friends, like I said, had a good time. If you check out my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, or the Pioneer group for Pandemonium, I did kind of like a mini write-up of the weekend, and you can check that out there on any of those places. I am thinking about publishing an article about my Pioneer Classic I played in. If anybody knows anybody where I should maybe, you know, put an application in, or, you know, just kind of dip my toes in the water to feel around, let me know. I would definitely be interested in doing that. We'll draw this Arid Mesa with top and pass. Hopefully we don't have to fetch. Our opponent has more mountains than we have lands in play. Alright, we'll go ahead and play a top, because we know there's lands on top. We will activate the top to draw land, to play as land for turn, and then we'll pass. Basically, that's the plan right now. We have plenty of cards in hand, so if our opponents just like keep drawing cards, but we keep drawing lands, we can eventually catch up. That's kind of the philosophy of what's going on right now. This is just us trying to catch up in lands, because we managed to hit a spurt of 3 on top in a row. So we're not gonna be doing much. We're gonna keep drawing this top, keep spinning this top, and trying to hit our mana base unless our opponent forces us to not let that happen. What we're actually gonna do here is we're gonna try to expansion this Factor Fiction, I think. Because if we can get a copy of Foth, that's another good way for us to get into this. Opponent's trying to decide if they want to fight over this or not. Nope, they just let us get a copy. And they let the Foth resolve. They see the Deceiver, so they know we're twinning. But do they know what else we're doing? Pretty much, because we have the Pestermite and the Zealous, whatever oh, this is an easy pile. I will gladly put the first pile into my hand and move to discard end of turn. Alright, we will put the Consecrated Sphinx. So they're more of like a show and tell deck from the looks of it. I think we're going to put the Consecrated Sphinx. The Chrome Mox and the land in one pile. What if we do it like this? I think this is how we do the pile. Pretty not happy with whatever they take. We have the Council's Judgment for any of the walkers. So I think we're supposed to split the pile like this. We're going to have to discard 2 cards EOT. So they do choose the 3-card pile. What are we discarding here? I think this Preordain could be useful. But top might just be a more useful Preordain. So I think the Preordain's a good discard. I really don't want to discard one of these combo pieces. Or this Spell Pierce. Maybe this Condemn just doesn't have much use. Yeah, I think we actually discard the Condemn too. We have a lot of useful spells now. Yep, not much we can do about the Nahiri here. Okay. So I think what we play to here is just red, red, red. We play to trying to draw Kiki Jiki and just win the game. So end of turn, we'll fetch this Volk. Cast Pestermite. Oh wow, they had counter spell in hand. That's rough. Okay. So I think our life total doesn't really matter. We have the Council's Judgment for whatever troublesome permanent we need. The Sower if it's a creature. That dig's kind of a problem. Our opponent's got another one of those decks that seems kind of rough for us to beat. Especially, like, I think we could have been ahead if we didn't miss so many land drops, though. Opponent's putting the cards on bottom of their library. Then cast Gataxian Probe. And now is back in the tank. We are definitely putting up a good fight considering how many lands we're behind. We're still behind by about 3 land drops. But been doing a lot these turns now. Once we got out of the top draw go stage, when we got to cast that Factor Fiction from our opponent, really helped us recoup a lot of our cards. Gain a little bit of the disadvantage we were in. But yeah, this Thursday I'll be streaming at the 6 p.m. time again. It will be my last stream at 6 p.m. After that, I'm going to be moving it back a little bit. I'm going to be streaming at 2 p.m. instead of 6. Just a little more convenient for me for during the weekdays and with my new work schedule. So, what you got, opponent? This Thursday I'll be streaming the deck that I played in the Pioneer Classic this past weekend. If you want to know what deck that is, how I did, feel free to check out a mini summary of the tournament I wrote that I posted on my Facebook in the Pandemonium Pioneer group, as well as on my Twitter and Instagram. I'm gonna be making a couple changes to it, or really just one change to the deck. The deck felt really good other than that change though, which I talk about. Our opponent seems to think they found the line they wanted. They're getting kind of behind, but they have plenty of clock, so. Uh-oh. They found the sneak attack. This could be trouble. We're gonna go ahead and spell pierce this. I don't know how much it's gonna do, but we're gonna do it. They paid double red for it. That's brave. Okay, they realize. We might just be dead here. Our opponent's deck is really sweet. Oh. Really? Huh. So that means they have to have a counter spell for this, right? Like, there's no reason to just play that out otherwise. Let's... Oh, I messed that up. Oh well, we can always top again. Let's put the Helix on top for now. Player land. And I think we just have to try to do this. I feel like we're just definitely walking into a counter spell, but... I think we have to try to get it out of our opponent's hand. And then try to set up a combo. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. We're one off actual... Oh. That just resolved. Oh, okay. Well, that's unexpected. Huh. Is this a Teferi? Oh, are we just about to get twinned? Wow, it's really convenient that I put the Lightning Helix on top now. Because I almost didn't. Oh, do they have the counter spell? Dang. Alright, yep, they had a lot of powerful spells in their deck, and their mana, they didn't miss on lands, so their mana base worked out. Let's see, this Condemn doesn't seem very good against them. This Path seems fine. Wall doesn't really do a whole lot. What all do we even want to bring in? I think we probably want this Containment Priest. Can maybe make Thing in the Ice work? Dismember. So the Dismember is just a better version of the Condemn. This Fiery Confluence doesn't seem great, but this Containment Priest does. Maybe we just like don't have the spells in general for this Thing in the Ice. So maybe that's all we do. Just that with a little hope and a prayer. That was a good game considering how many land drops we missed, so. Yeah, this hand is a twin or a Kiki away from winning. Opponent mulligan to 6. And keeps on 6. We will Arid Mesa pass. Probably just fetching up a volcanic island, I think. Opponent islands and cast Gitaxian Probe. We will fetch a volcanic island and then F6. Because you know what? We have the horses in the back. And as per usual, our force stock is, in fact, attached. Spell Pierce, not a bad one to draw. But I think we're just going to play our Signet and pass. Then we can start holding stuff up after that. Ooh, no destruction of the Signet this time. We don't really need to hold up Resto mana. I'd rather just get this tap land down. Spell Seeker from our opponent. What do they tutor up? What do they tutor? Yuck. Counter spell. Yeah, I kind of like just playing the odds of just drawing Kiki Jiki off the top to kill our opponent. That's not a Kiki Jiki. Go to combat, we'll attack. We will then play a top and pass. Again, top's not typically a card I put in my cube decks, but I think it's pretty good in this one because we have a good amount of fetch lands, good amount of searching. We care about the specific card we find. Oh, and the reason why I didn't force our opponent to combo in game 1 is even though they're under the clock and could potentially time out, if we have to do it 2 games in a row where we have to combo, which is the main way our deck wins, I don't want our opponent to be like, oh, well, he made me do it, so I'm going to make him do it. I'd rather just, move it on. Pick up the pace. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and spin the top here. Alright. Kinda in for the Imperial Recruiter. We'll go ahead and play said Imperial Recruiter. Sure, I mean, that gets the counterspell out of our opponent's hand that we knew about. Opponent ponders. As the opponent ponders. Well, I will gladly filter into this and spell pierce that Ajani. And then spin the top. We'll go ahead and draw the island. Combat. Attack our opponent. And pass it on. Hey, how's it going, Siggy? I'm doing pretty well. We're in the Jeskai Twin Mirror. They're playing Sneak Attack, though, so... Sneak Attack and Nahiri, so they probably have some type of alternate plan. Well, that's not good for us. let's go ahead and spin our top. Because we're going to want to draw this Winds of Abandon. And I think we're going to go ahead and get our B down a little bit. No. So they unfortunately get to draw 2 cards. Yeah, actually, I don't hate overloading this. Our opponent gets to draw, or gets an extra land out of this, but I kind of want to get their body out of the way. Fan a cube, found it boring. Yeah, you know, that's kind of the good thing about Magic is everybody can enjoy it in whatever way they want. Like nobody's correct or right about like how they enjoy Magic the Gathering, because it's just that it's how do you enjoy it. Okay, tonight. You're gonna wear my signet. It's worn down, opponent. We'll go ahead and spin our top here. Go ahead and draw that plane so we don't miss our land drop. Is this like a big explosion from our opponent? Cannot find foil Tarmos anywhere. Can't say I really know where to find those either, to be honest. That's a tough one. Tough one to find for sure. I'm sure Josh could find you some if he put his mind to it. So you can always message Josh Warren. He's the guy that normally streams on Fridays for us. It's such a Richie card in bulk. That's fair. It kind of is. Tomic's great. Recruiter of Lagarde. What are we recruiting this time, opponent? A Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker. We're gonna draw our top, play our top, spin our top. I'm going to go ahead and draw this island. Play our island. Get into combat. Attack. pass it on back to the opponent. Alright, hopefully they don't have a counter spell. Yeah, I mean, our opponent had a lot stronger spells than us, which I think does go far in the mirror. But I also think having good mana is very important, and I think we definitely have the better mana. Alright, this is our out. Just hoping that they don't have a counter spell. They have the mana leak again. Yep. GG's opponent. Rough one, rough to lose the mirror. Kind of only a thing that can happen in Vintage Cube like this, where you're not facing people you draft against, but that's just kind of the thing sometimes. That deck hurt me a lot, too. Do you mean Damping Sphere? Is that the sphere you mean? I was thinking about doing another draft after this, but this one kind of took a while. We'll see how we're feeling after this third game. We may or may not do another draft still. GLHF opponent. Yeah. We got a lot of early plays here. Just kind of gotta find some lands and some other stuff to do. Damping Sphere for the 1K next weekend. What are you playing Feather, I assume? The old mono red. I think our deck's pretty built for this. We'll see. Hey, we drew a land off it. What do you know? It's a good Goblin Guide. I think we're gonna unfortunately have to discard. I know I was asking, we might just discard top. I think we're gonna actually discard top. We'll let the trigger happen. We have a path on top it shows. And then before damage we'll fetch. Grab the plateau. And condemn the Goblin Guide. What's the worst that I can say? Since I'm better if I say so long and good night. So long and good night. I kind of want one of these lands so I can play Teferi without shocking next turn. But I also don't, because I kind of want a white source that does that. Yeah, that's still fine. Yeah, the Feather Prowess deck is really sweet. I faced it in the Classic, actually. Opponent had a little bit of mana issues, unfortunately, which was kind of surprising coming from that deck. I think that deck's mana base is fairly consistent. He got stuck on one land on a mold to 6, which, when he showed me his hand, I kind of agreed with him keeping. Cast a burn spell. That's a weird one. I don't know how I feel about that one. Yeah, I think we let him light up. Destroy an artifact and lightning strike. Wall of Omen's not a bad draw. Think we're gonna just put this Sacred Foundry into play tapped and pass. Because I'm pretty sure our opponent will go for the lightning strike. Three Skullcrack, 2 Giant Ut. Nice. What's Giant Ut? I don't actually know what that card is. Oh, the giant from Eldraine. Bone Crusher. Nah, you know what? I would not like to same target the lightning strike, actually. Thanks for asking, though. I feel like if you want more... If you want, like, the Damping Spheres for, like, the combo matchup, I'd maybe just take out, like, a Skullcrack and maybe a Giant. Or maybe just the 2 Giants, even. Let's go ahead and cast this wall. Okay. So we're getting there to be able to combo. We're at not the highest life total, but we're not dead, so that's what matters. Could try Silence. I think I like Damping Sphere more than Silence because it like stops the Lotus Field deck in multiple ways. That was a weird pause. So let's play this land tapped. And I think we're just going to Council's Judgment away this 2-1. And then pass. So next turn, we get to Deceiver, Exarch, and Teferi. Hopefully we don't just get burned out. We're down to 4. It's not looking good for us, but if we ever find a Twin or a Kiki, we can try to win. Well, turns out doesn't matter. We're just dead anyways. Yeah, Mono Red just beats you down some days. What do we want against them? I think I would rather have this Sphinx Rev over something like this. Thing in the Ice is a good blocker to wear. I think Council's Judgment is kind of slow. Tomic is the... How does... Oh, because they can't twiddle it? Okay. Is that better than Damping Sphere, though? Or is Damping Sphere a little more flexible, do you think? Let's... trim the Teferi. I think we want Brightling over probably the Zealous Conscripts because it's kind of an expensive combo piece. I think we might go ahead and try it. Sphere hurts me too much. That's fair. The downside of Sphere against you is... Yeah, that's true. The downside does change things a lot. I didn't think about that. Alrighty. Let's see if we can't pull this 2-3 out. Yeah, I mean, we have a fine hand. It's nothing to write home about, but... Yeah, we have an early removal spell. We have some decent top end. Could potentially get a combo off. Back to us. We draw a mountain for turn. I kind of want to use this to try to get Sacred Foundry tap, but I guess we can just get Plateau. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and play Flooded Strand. Opponent would draw Wasteland. We'll float a red. We'll fetch, I suppose. Grab that Plateau. And then just deal 2 damage here. It's the same thing. Found foil feathers for $3 a piece. That's awesome. That's actually pretty good, I think. I'm not sure what their actual price is right now, but I think feathers definitely more than a $3 card. Opponent just is gonna have a creature to play. No, just a Mox Pass. Alright. Fetch land, say go. The fact that our opponent's mono red with the red Mox is pretty good for them, honestly. Muta for land for turn. Then another pass. Play Tarn and pass. We don't have any more shocks, so there's not really a reason to just fetch. Rather hold these fetches for something like Mom and Pop Thopter Shop. Yep. Rather hold these fetches for something like Sensei's Divining Top. We're drawing quite a few lands though. Can flash and rest out EOT to block. Or not EOT, but when our opponent attacks. Ooh, no attack from our opponent. Alright, I'm cool playing this draw go game. Especially with the Sphinx Rev in our hand. Go ahead, opponent. That one's a little more annoying. But takes our opponent off 2 mana and us off 1 is all. Alright, let's fetch. Grab a volcanic island. Flash and resto. Move to blocks. Block Pian Nalar. If you want to waste a burn spell or throw a Thopter at it, that's fine. It's just more life we gain. End of turn, we'll fetch here to get the Sacred Foundry tapped. Yeah, go ahead and port us, that's fine. Condemn's a solid draw here. Deceiver and Condemn can clean up these tokens pretty nicely. Abbot of Carol Keep reveals a mountain. Before it blocks, we'll flash in Deceiver Exarch. Oh, Deceiver Exarch doesn't have flying. What am I thinking? Oh well, this just lets us try to set up our rev to be bigger. $4 to $5. Hey, saving a couple bucks here and there. Not bad. Oh, the opponent floated a colorless mana, that's why. No blocks. Still before damage, Condemn a token. And then I take one. And opponent lights it up. And they hit. Mountain Goblin Guide. Casts the Goblin Guide. And passes the turn. Ooh. I think I'd rather get this rev off for its full amount. I'd rather get this rev for 4. But that'll be a good follow-up. Mountain for land for turn. The old Siege Bang Commander. You got it. Now chasing foils for it. Yeah, it's a dangerous game, that's for sure. Kiki Jiki's on top, you say? I want to try to bait the opponent into casting a spell. But don't fall for it. End of turn, we're going to cast Sphinx's Revelation for 4. How does that sound, opponent? I would like to gain 4 and draw 4. Deal. Alright, was kinda hoping to draw a another combo piece there, but we have stuff we can do. We can wall, Brightling, hold up, lifelink. We can Brightling, hold up, lifelink, return, or explosion. I think I like that. Fiery Confluence on top, I like it. Move to blocks. Block Siege Gang. Sure. I would then like to give Brightling -1/+1 again. I would then like to return Brightling to my hand. I'll take 5 for the timer. You got it, opponent. What's the worst that I can say? Since I'm better if I stay. So long and good night. So long and good night. Alright, opponent. What you got now? That rev for 4 felt great. Now we have an explosion for 5 if we want. Okay. What what do you choose to cast? It's Rev? You're gonna Rev for 2? Sure. Heck yeah, that was MCR. Love me some MCR, dude. I was so upset. Me and a friend were really close to getting tickets to go see them when they went to California, but we unfortunately missed out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can give it lifelink. Think we just red, blue, blue. We still have this if we want it. Cast a Brightling. And we'll just pass. We're in a close game with this opponent, that's for sure. That Dire Fleet was pretty good at gaining them some extra cards. But we do in fact have card advantage of our own still. I would like to block. I would then like to give lifelink. Non-point for me. Interesting attack. Because I assume my opponent doesn't have enough to kill it with 2 bounces. So with this, we can just give it -1. Oh, that was bad actually. Or no, this is fine. Just like, quit trying to kill my dude. He never dies. This is like the matchups that Brightling is good against, is matchups like this. I will return Brightling to my hand. Congratulations, you wasted so many spells. To be fair, our opponent was probably not beating a Brightling anyways. Figure of Destiny. Oh hey, that's lethal. Four and 5. Geeky jeeky. Alright, and we're going to game 3 against Mono Red with Splinter Twin. Do we want to change anything? I was kind of thinking about this Torrential Gearhulk as extra copies of our spells. I don't think that's the worst idea. The Brightling was really good Definitely held his weight in being drafted. Huh. No, I think all of our cards might just be better. Maybe the top just like isn't worth it. Like I never really want to be topping, so maybe we just Gear Hulk instead. Just try to get a little more oomph in there, you know. If we ever Gear Hulk a Lightning Helix, we're gonna feel on top of the world against Mono Red. Alright, this hand is fine. We can lead on this. And then we can go ahead and grab... maybe we just path on one. Ooh, our opponent has an explosive turn. Yeah, I think we might just path on one. Especially if our opponent pumps 3 mana into this figure. Goblin Guide. Sees an expansion explosion on top. But I think conserving our life is where we want to be at. So we will go ahead and path this. Take 2 down to 17. Draw planes for turn. And we will go to the window, to the wall, to the wall. Draw a Celestial Colonnade. Man, we're drawing all the tap lands against aggro. Ooh, chars our wall. Really wants to get in there. We might have a turn for one of these tap lands after all. Resto's not a bad one. Yeah, I think we're gonna Wandering Fumarole tapped, then just Winds of Abandon this Goblin Guide. Just, really don't want our opponent to get in as much damage as they can. Oh, we actually have combo set up if our opponent taps out next turn. Yeah, go ahead and Glorybringer. And do me a favor and just spend all your mana next turn, opponent. I will gladly Resto Kiki you. Play our fetch land and pass. Act like nothing's going on. Come on, opponent, spend your mana. Even if our opponent plays a creature that Resto can, like, eat, I don't think I'm going to Resto until EOT unless I feel like I might die. Opponent's in the tank. Well, we have double our mono red opponent's time. That's crazy. Alright, we're going to play the Do You Have a Burn spell, opponent. Because I think that's the way we win this game. Look, we live by the twin, we die by the twin, okay? Yeah. Womp womp. Maybe it's safer to just go for the Council's Judgment play there, but it's like not getting better for us the more we pass. Like sometimes with these decks, when you're behind like this, you just have to make your opponents have it. And that's exactly what I tried to do there. So yeah, we lost, unfortunately. They were fun games though. We've been streaming for over 2 hours with this one. Do we do another cube or not, though? Yeah, you know what? It's probably the last time we're going to get to Vintage Cube. Let's go ahead and do another one. Why not? I don't got much going on tonight anyways, so don't mind firing up some cube with you guys. Alright, what do we got going on in this pack? Alright, we got Chandra, Torch of Defiance, a good red card. Mentor's a really good card. Raphelos is probably the best card so far. Is It Signet is also very good. And High Tide, I think, are the cards worth noting. And with all of these cards, I think we're going to lean into the Raphelos and potentially try to draft a green deck. The Is It Signet's very good. I don't think we'll see either of those two cards. I think the Is It Signet's better than the High Tide enough that it's not worth considering the High Tide. But I think Raphelos is also very powerful, and I think we'll take it. So what do we got going on here? Portal is a very good card. Jace is a really good card. Primal Command fits with our Raphelos the most. But Tinker is definitely just like the straight up best card in this pack. But Tinker Raphelos almost never go into the same deck. That being said, I'm not set on playing this Raphelos. Primal Command is kind of a weak card in the green decks anyways. So let's take the Tinker and kind of leave our options open. Alright, what do we got here? We got Grave Titan, Ugin, which is really good in like pretty much any deck. Scavenging Ooze is a really good green card. Dimir Signet and Worn Power Stone if we want to go down the Tinker route. I think we're going to take the Dimir Signet. We're not necessarily off the Raphelos, but I think the Tinker route is showing a little better than the green deck route right now. Alright, and here we have a Progenitus, which is a good natural order target. A Temple Garden, which is a solid pickup for Raphelos if we play green-white. Probe, which is good in just about any deck. Again, this is kind of like a split where I'm not really sure where to go. I'm kind of getting pulled in two different directions, and the cards aren't necessarily lining up for either direction right now. That being said, Push is also an option, and we do have a Dimir Signet. I think we'll take the Temple Garden, as weird as it is. So, what do we have here? Really nothing for either option again. Nothing even for like an audible option. This is kind of a weaker pack. Vampiric Tutor is probably the best card. Temple Garden plays really well in our Raphelos deck's mana base. I guess Duretti kind of works in the Tinker deck. I could see taking the Duretti. I think we'll take the Windswept Heath, though. I'm not, like, off the green Raphelos deck. But I'm not really on it, either. What do we got here? An Ajani, a Tristana, a Tristani. a Plow Under, a Bloodbraid Elf, a Mother of Runes, a Young Pyro, and a Turnabout. Elspeth is really good. I mean, I guess we're taking the Elspeth and we're moving more into the Raphellos deck than the Tinker deck. But the Tinker deck is still kind of here. What do we got here? Garruk isn't bad. Lyra isn't bad. Why is there a Mystic Confluence and a Splinter Twin? Or a Skull Clamp? Like, this is what I mean. I have no idea what I should be drafting here. I really want to take this twin, but I think we're far enough away that it's incorrect. And I think Skull Clamp is very good in the Raphellos deck if we find our dorks. What is going on? I guess we take a Show and Tell, which goes into the Tinker deck because we'll have fat creatures. Hallowed Fountain isn't bad if we go into this deck, but I think we take the Show and Tell, I guess. Man, this is a really weird draft. Mentor, Sphinx's Rev, Marsh Flats is a green dual land if we stick the green deck. Frantic Search is a fine card. O-Ring is a fine card. Mentor is a good card. I think we'll take the Marsh Flats. So we wield the Primal Command. This is kind of a late Burst Lightning. As bad as it might be to audible to mono red. Man, I'm actually torn here. My instinct whenever I have a train wreck draft is to try to audible to mono red. I think we're going to look into that option. I know this is insanely late to try to switch in Vintage Cube, but I've done it before with decent success, and I'm not happy with any of what I'm drafting right now. I'm not that happy about, to the point where if I waste a couple picks on mono red cards, oh well. This deck isn't really shaping out anyways. Guess we take the Blooming Marsh. We can potentially just play Abzan. I'm gonna take the Young Pyro. I actively want to play mono red at this point, more than I want to play any of these other cards. But I'm willing to leave every option open. In my experience, mono red is the deck that, when your draft isn't going well, if you can swap into it, it's typically the better option than trying to stick with whatever you're trying to make work. Being said, Opposition and Mana Drain are both really powerful cards. We don't really have a good mono red card here. Man, this draft is messy. We haven't had one of these style of drafts yet in me playing Vintage Cube, so this is both incredibly annoying, but also really fun to have happen. Because this is what happened, this is things that can happen when you do Vintage Cube, or any cube in general. Is sometimes you just kind of don't know where to go, but you need to try to figure it out. And right now we're dipping our toes into a lot of different options, and I'm not sure where to go. We'll take the Opposition here because it's just the most powerful card. But then this pack, Kodama's Reach and Garruk are good for that deck. Zergo's good for mono red. Lightning Bolt is good for mono red. It's possible we were supposed to go into the White Weenie deck, but I normally hate audibling into that deck personally. Like, I'd rather audible to mono red if I can. And we also just, like, didn't see white cards until now. I don't think we have enough white to try to go the mono white deck. I think we're more likely to go mono red at this point than anything else, so I'm just going to take this Zergo. I know I've played mono red a lot, but like this draft is very weird because I haven't had like a set direction. Like those packs were very weird for us. And like now we're starting to see cards that could be good. Like the fast bombs could be good with Rafellos. The Vivian Wormcoil Ulamog Wormcoil works really well with Show and Tell. But like at this point, like there's a Goblin Guide in this pack, and I'm already 4 cards deep into mono red, which is more than any of these other archetypes. So even though I think the Wormcoil is really good with the Tinker Show and Tell, I'm gonna just take Goblin Guide because I think mono red is where we're supposed to be. Wow, that's a late time twister though. This draft is gonna be so messy because I just don't know what anybody's doing. Inferno Titan, Karn are good options. Tooth and Nail, Bolus's Citadel. God, maybe we were just supposed to be the Weenie deck. Is it too late to audible to that? I think it is. I think if we took that Thalia, that's where we were supposed to go this draft. But now we kind of have to figure something out. I really don't want to take this Inferno Titan, but I think we might have to. No, I'm gonna take the Inferno Titan. I don't like that. Yeah, and like now we get really punished. Cause say I take that Tooth and Nail, I take this Elvish Mystic, and we're easily transitioned back into the green deck. But now I'm just like, I've like committed at this point like way too hard. Like, I've committed now to the point where I really can't step back from where I was. I think that pick, the Inferno Titan over the Tooth and Nail, is actually the pick that's gonna put us into where we're going this draft. To where I think that there was options to sprout out before. But like now we're like definitely set in, which like this pack doesn't really have anything for us, so maybe it is a fortunate thing that we didn't. I guess we would have taken like Stoneforge to get Skull Clamp is probably what we would have done. But Runaway Steamkin is a much better card for the red deck than Stoneforge is for that deck. Yeah, like here we get a Swift Spear. Maybe try to wheel like a Smuggler's Copter. I think we're going to get kind of rewarded for audibling to mono red. But we also just like kind of need to find picks at this point. So we'll take the Swift Spear. Like here, this is so bad for us. We just don't have anything. And like this is a pack where the green deck had something. We'll take a Sword, and we'll honestly probably have to play it. Like I'm not even like looking at any of these cards anymore. This is just like 13 cards we've drafted that there's no chance we're playing. I honestly will probably have to play this Dire Fleet Daredevil. Again, like it was a super late audible, and we didn't even commit to it. So our deck isn't gonna be that great, I don't think. But it's a matter of just trying to make things work. Yeah, I think the deck we were actually supposed to be, now looking at the draft, was the White Weenie deck. I'm actually going to take this Thalia in case we have to splash a color, because I just don't want to splash any of these other cards. I'll take Duretti because I don't want to splash double white. Man, this draft is... We're getting really punished for not going the white deck. But, like... It was... I just didn't see it. Like... I don't know. This draft was weird for us. Weird for everyone, I feel like. Like, we're looking at potentially having to splash a color in our red deck, which is really bad because we just don't have the fixing. But we kind of have to. Like, I think I'm taking this Dread Horde with 3 targets for it right now. We didn't even wheel anything, so I think someone else might have audibled too. If we can wheel this Giver, that'd be good for us. We don't have any blue cards worth playing, or else I'd take this Steam Vents. So yeah, I think it's just this Dread Horde and hope to find some more cheap spells. We need playables. Oh my god, Shrine of Burning Rage. This is actually the best card in mono red in the cube. Holy crap. That's like a gift for us to have gotten here. That's like actively a reward for how bad our draft has gone. Yeah, so we're gonna slam this shrine into our deck. Oh, we got a Chain Lightning. That's good for us. We're like a spell-heavy red deck. So we're gonna try to abuse like this Dread Horde, this Pyro, and this Shrine, I think. At least that's how our draft is looking now. We're gonna be almost closer to like a Prowess deck than a mono red deck. Than like Burn, anyways. Ooh, Hazoret's really good. This Inspiring Vantage would be good. Man, I actually. So there's like 2 decks I think we should have been. I think we're gonna be very light on playables with this red deck. We might even not like have enough to actually play it. Like this draft was a train wreck. This was an actual train wreck. But I think we were either supposed to be the mono white deck or we were supposed to be twin. That's the vibes I'm getting right now. I think we're actually gonna somehow get lucky and get a decent red deck though, which is like kind of the reason why I always audible to this deck as opposed to like many other options. I could have potentially gone the white deck, but I just like didn't see the white cards really, or like they were kind of spread out, even though the red cards were kind of the same way. Is no matter like how medium your deck is, it's still gonna be okay, just because like the floor for the red deck is so low. So the port and the factory are really good for us, but we just physically cannot afford to take a land. We have to take a spell. Would we rather have a ritual or a sword or a stone coil? I think we actually want the ritual, because I think we're trying to be a spell slinging deck. I kind of want this, and I think we might have to play Boros. This card works really well with the spell slinging strategy. And like we're not playing a Pyroclasm, I'm not playing a Wear and Tear. Maybe we were supposed to be the Reanimator deck. It's very well possible that's what we were supposed to be. We'll take the Feathers. Again, I think we just have to splash white. So like I think what we're looking at is like playing this, playing all of the white cards we have, and playing this sword right now. Do we play Sun Titan? Do we just play the Titans? Like, are we just like Teen Titans Go? Oh, that's a gift. That's an actual gift. Because our mana base is bad. I'm not playing mana type. This card is bad. What's the other card we cut here? I really don't want to play this sword, honestly. What does this card even do? When it dies, create X1 when flying. I don't like this card. Ooh, I will play a Blade Splicer. We might just play another sword. Alright, let's try to figure out how our mediocre aggro deck will be shaped. I suppose we can put this card back in. No, I actually don't want this card. I think we actually have reasonable Sun Titan targets. Maybe we don't play the Sword of Feast and Famine. Feast and Famine's kind of medium. Is the Desperate Ritual actually good? I don't think so. How many spells are we on? We actually became less of a spell slinging deck than I thought we were gonna be. Just give me what you think is right, Moto. I trust you. Alright, well this is a pile. I will say that. This deck is certainly a pile. Probably the worst draft we've had so far. We have a lot of really powerful cards we're not playing because we kind of got split in like... We got split in like 6 different directions actually this draft. And we just kind of ended up in an aggro deck because, you know, that's what you do when the draft doesn't work out. GLHF. I would like to be on the play. Yeah, see, like, we have to mulligan this because we're a 2-color deck. And we have 2 6-drops. Alright, this hand's pretty solid. We'll put a mountain on the bottom. And we will go Inspiring Vantage Pass. Ooh, I might Firebolt that instead of letting him have mana. Yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and Firebolt his Dork. I'd really like to get the Elemental, but I'd also really like to not let him have 3 mana next turn. Elvish Mystic and pass. Alright. Take a Shrine. Kind of unfortunate we Firebolted because we could have double spelled, but I mean, you know. It'd be like that. Ooh, our opponent might not have anything. Alright. Ooh. So what if we Young Pyromancer? Then play Giver of Runes. And next turn play Hazoret. Uh-oh. That makes Hazoret worse. Alright, alright. We're gonna Dreadhorde Arcanist, actually. Then we'll pass. Opponent chooses not to pay. Then they harmonize, so they have 6 cards in hand now. Chrome Mox. Pitching and Arbor Elf. And then the Elder. Everyone loves the Elder. Alright. Put a counter on our shrine, draw a card. That's not bad. So we... Burst Lightning here. Go to combat. Attack like so. Burst Lightning here. We're going to try to just shrine our opponent out, I think. See how they would like to block. They choose not to. Alright, take 3 opponent. And we'll pass it to you. Garruk from our opponent. Untapping some lands. Casting Fauna Shaman. Lotus Cobra. And then passing the turn back. We'll draw for turn. It's an Abbot. I think we're gonna just Hazoret. Go to combat. Attack Garruk with everything we don't care about. Then we will Firebolt the Fauna Shaman. See how our opponent chooses to block. Just 1 in front of the Hazoret. Well, that's fine. Garruk goes down to 1. landfall from our opponent. Not much we could do. Oh, and our opponent just concedes. Alright. So we're up a game against mono green. Do we want this Elspeth in our deck somehow? Don't really think so. Do we want to change anything for this matchup, though? We don't really have a lot we can, to be honest. We're pretty stuck to what our deck is, other than occasionally boarding an Elspeth Sun's Champion, maybe. Or Hallowed Spirit, as a way to keep getting tokens with Sun Titan. Maybe Thalia's not gonna do enough, but like, I just don't think Elspeth is either. Oh, you know what? This Dire Fleet's actually gonna do nothing. So we'll board in our third 6-drop. Maybe Moo will occasionally just like blow up our opponent's stuff. Alright, what do we got here? We have a functional hand, so we will not move. Opponent has a Mana Dork. We have a Goblin Guide. A Goonling Guide, as the kids might say. Attack. Hangerback Walker. Devoted Druid. Arbor Elf, all the mana. Playing Inspiring Vantage. And a Tithe Taker. Then we'll go to combat and attack our opponent for 2. Fellows. Oracle of Mulidule. Does not hit a landy. What's the 2-drop? The Refellows. Opponent has like infinite green mana. We will go to combat and attack for 4. Wow, Green Sun Zenith on top of the opponent's library. Weird. And I think we'll go ahead and play this Blade Splicer. Just, you know, boots hitting the ground. Ooh, double land off the top with an Avenger of Zendikar. That's a yikes. Feel like we got pretty lucky to win that game 1. Even though if we were just mono red, I think this is actually a pretty good matchup. Is this the hoof daddy? We just getting hoofed? I think we're getting hoofed. Oh. Well, that's not fun. Huh. Huh. Well, that's rude. Joke's on you, opponent. I still have mana. I don't know necessarily how I'm winning this game, but I have mana. That's a lot of mana. I don't like. Yeah. There goes my golem. Maybe we want Feast and Famine for the fact that they're a mono green deck. Maybe that's better than our third 6-drop against the Terrastodon deck. I think we can go to the next one. Alright, let's get this sword in over this Elspeth. And I think we just click submit after that. Hope we can get them dead before they get us dead. We didn't wheel like the lightning bolt, which isn't surprising because bolt's a pretty popular card in general. Man, do I love 2-color aggro decks. We're mulligan. Man, do I love 2-color aggro decks. We're gonna keep because I don't want to go to 5. Mountain go. Thank God our opponent doesn't have a 1-mana mana dork. Chain lightning. Light up the stage. Those aren't planes. Can I please draw planes on my next turn deck? Please? I'm asking nicely. Please give me a planes. That's not a planes deck. I'm sad. I have now became what the kids like to call big sad. Arbor Elf. Raphaelos. Kill Raphaelos. Please draw planes. I love my 2-color aggro decks. Welcome to Trainwreck Vintage Cube 101. I'm in danger. Yarp. Right on time. Just ignore the burning building behind us. Everything's fine. I don't think we're winning this one, chat. I'm no expert. But it ain't looking good, Chief. Alright. You know, we'll get him next time. Again, this draft did not go that well. We had a couple different options. We had some split routes we could have gone, so we kind of ended up in like a very bad a very medium to bad deck, if I'm being honest. Like I said, I think looking back on it, we found an early twin, and I was really tempted to take it just because I love drafting twin. But I didn't because it didn't really go with anything we were doing, and it was like the complete opposite. But had I tried to force that, I think we would have gotten there because we did see a Deceiver, Exarch, a Resto. And I think the other way, which is probably the way we should have gone, instead of me, because we did have this Elspeth, which is like a fine card to play in an aggro deck. It's not great, obviously, but you'll do it. I think when I seen the cheap white creatures, I maybe should have just picked them up instead of trying to go into mono red. And I think we may have had a better deck. But I mean, like, you know, sometimes when you cube, you're going to get a train wreck. Oh, hey, it's Caleb D. Ooh, this is risky in the fact that we don't have a red source. Yep. Alright, we will go. Turn 1 Goblin Guide. Go to combat. And attack for 2. I'll be interested to hear what Caleb thought post games. Have to check out his VODs. So he's blue-green, potentially Bant. Okay, Firebolt's not bad. I do think we're going to let him have his Mana Dork for another turn. Forest went into his hand. We'll play a Dreadhorde and pass. Ooh, that's not nice. Alright, let's cast Runaway Steamkin. Attack. See if we can get Caleb to block. He will. Oh, that's a sorcery, that's why. Alright, that's still fine. I just didn't realize the spell was a sorcery is all. If we draw a... Ooh. Yikes. Well, that's our second white source. We don't have good attacks anymore, so... That's kinda awkward. We are the small fish in the big pond, as the kids like to say. Our draft did not go very well. And, Caleb's did, that's for sure. Well, we'll go ahead and cast Swift Spear. And, pass it on over. Tireless Tracker. Yeah, Caleb, your deck looks great. Ours, on the other hand, kind of the opposite. We won't block. Want to see what he's going to Shell Dock Island. Hell yeah, Caleb, your deck is nuts. Alright, game 2. Huh. This suppose this is probably another sword matchup. Dire Fleet's pretty sweet when our opponent has Time Walk. They're not really going to be targeting our stuff. Yeah, I think we just try it like this and hope Caleb stumbles or hope we just get him. Yeah, I mean, you know, we can't really mulligan hands with functional mana. That's kind of the thing with this deck. Alright, we are going to let him have a turn with his mana dork. Because I don't think we win this game by just, like, killing his team in passing. Okay, okay. That's actually not that bad for us. So we get to kill both his creatures, gain a bunch of life, and attack him for 2. Alright, so that wasn't the worst. Does he just Revoker's Soulfire Grandmaster here? Chandra Torch of Defiance. It's a fair blind name. Yeah, I think we hope to draw a land next turn, so we just Faith's Fetters and then attack. All the life gain. If we ever face an aggro mirror, that's where we're set up against. Tireless Tracker with a land, I presume. Alright, that's not a land, sadly. We will play the best combo ever of Young Pyromancer Thalia. And then attack. Crack some clues. Well, that's a good body. Don't really like playing the pass the turn game against the Tireless Tracker though. Ponder. Opponent's trying to Caleb's trying to figure out how to ponder. He's getting in there with the tracker. We'll take it. We'll take it. We're at a good enough life total. Time warp. Time warp. That's fair. Time walk. You know, I'd like to think our decks are very similar in power level. That's not true, by the way. Our decks are very opposite in power level. Well, we will play a Blade Splicer, get some more first striking going on. Equip a Thalia and pass it on over. Caleb cracks the clue. Plays another land, gets another clue. Cracks that clue again. Cracks the clue again. Plays an Incubation Druid. And passes the turn. We draw a Mountain for turn. That's a good card. We do get to kill this Incubation Druid, though. Yeah, and then we'll, just pass the turn again. We're at a standstill, except he has a Tireless Tracker. I like the odds of Caleb a lot more than me. Yeah, I think his draft went pretty close to the way he would want, to where mine definitely did not. But again, like, just kind of something you accept when you play Cube. Every now and again, you're gonna get the occasional train wrecks, and you just try to make it work the best possible. Typically, with train wrecks, the best way to go is an aggro deck, which is where we ended up. But we didn't end up quite the aggro deck we wanted to be. Takes our Soulfire Grandmaster. Does that mean he has a way to pick up Time Walk? Ooh. We got him right where we want him now. I just want to see Caleb do more cool stuff at this point. Cracks the clue. Cast Primeval Titan. Gets Hideaway Manland. I'm telling you, dude, maybe we'll get him to deck. Puts the card face down. Cracks a clue. He's only got 10 cards. Alright. Abbot of Carrow Keep. Hits a Burst Lightning. Alright. We can kick the Burst Lightning. Wait. Oh, Thalia. We can't. Yeah, that's right. So, we'll just cast the Burst Lightning. Say go. Let's see what else you got going on, Caleb. I want to see what this deck can do. This deck's sweet. The old Sword of Feast and Famine. That can grow the Carnage Tyrant out of first strike range. Or the Primeval Titan, for that matter. Three, four. Well. Guess we just take it. Like, there's not much we can really do. Don't know what we're hoping to draw to get out of this, but you know, we're having a good time. Thragtusk. Now just do me a favor and draw a card off each of your clues. Yeah, that's what we want. No, you had 2 more mana. You should have drawn another card, Caleb. I want you to deck. My out is you decking. Oko. Uh-oh. Better call Oko. Oko makes Sword of Fire and Ice into a 3/3. Haha, he was going for Eternal Witness, Soulfire, Grandmaster, Time Walk. As expected. Now, just crack 2 clues. Draw a card for turn. So that's 6, 5, 4, that's 3. Crack another clue, that's 2. Play land. Or just get a land from your deck with Primeval Titan and crack as many clues as you can. And then deck. That's how we win this game. Maybe Caleb gets too excited with drawing cards. Everybody likes to draw cards after all. What did Oko do this time? Oh, Oko made a clue and out. Sword goes on the Carnage Tyrant. And these two come in. Well, we will chump the big boy and take 9. I'll let you have your fun with your mana. Just, go ahead, crack all your clues. You're supposed to crack your clues. Garuk. Activate top. Batter Skull. Now crack 2 clues. The sword goes on the Thragtusk. That's what we needed, was a land. We'll pass the turn again. Yep, you have fired up a Lumbering Falls. You have out yet another clue. Alright, Caleb. Alright, Caleb. Good game, Caleb. Good game. Alright, yeah, we'll play the last round, I guess. Will we? Yeah, why not? Yeah, this draft just didn't... I didn't really know where to go with it. Like I said, I think the twin prediction is understandable for me to have not gone into. It was pretty far off for us. But I think the mono white deck might have been the option instead of trying to go mono red. But I mean, is it really a time when Vintage Cube is up? Did you really Vintage Cube if you never had a train wreck draft? Like every good Vintage Cube experience has a train wreck in it at some point. Man, we're not gonna mulligan this. Go to combat. Attack for 1. Blooming Marsh Bop. Perfect. Hit our opponent for 1. Opponent plays a Signet. An LED. Okay. We draw Hazoret. We'll cast a Sword of Fire and Ice and attack our opponent for 2. Yeah, I don't really know what we were supposed to end up, but I feel, like I said, I think the mono white deck would have been the best deck we could have fallen into. But, you know, it is what it is. It's pretty cool that we faced Caleb. I'm excited to check out his stream after and listen to his commentary about how bad my deck is. Oh, collective brutality. All I wanted was to equip a Sword of Fire and Ice. Aha! We drew a Plains. We did it. Thalia. And equip sword. Say go. Oh, the combination of Sword of Fire and Ice and Hazoret the Fervent. Man, I'm realizing how great our deck was. This deck was something. Skull Clamp. Meet Birds of Paradise. Birds of Paradise. Meet Skull Clamp. You guys will become very well acquainted here shortly, I assume. Yeah, if we end up in the mono white deck too, we... Oh, he used the bird to make mana, that makes sense. We also, like, get to play Skull Clamp, which is a messed up card. Okay. Well, let's go to combat. Attack our opponent. Trigger sword will shoot our opponent for 2. Draw a card. We will play our tap land and cast a Hazoret, I suppose. We'll eventually get the cards in our hand out of it. We can always like discard 2 cards next turn, but I think we'd rather just play an Inferno Titan and not get to do anything with our Hazoret, and then do things with our Hazoret the turn after. Actually, we might just be able to kill our opponent if we Hazaret. We'll see. We'll see what our opponent can do. Our opponent's deck seems very interesting so far. Opponent's in the tank. Opponent's trying to figure out how to sequence this. I don't blame them. They're in kind of a weird situation. Curious as to what our opponent's trying to do here. I don't really know what type of deck they are yet either. Well, they're a balanced deck for sure. And they're gonna crack LED, so we have to discard our hand. And then we have to sack 2 lands. Oh, huh. Alright, well done. Unburial Rites, Eternal Witness to pick up Ravages of War. Alright. I don't feel like playing this deck anymore. I apologize, chat, but I don't feel like playing another game with this pile. This draft did not go well. Which, you know, some drafts won't. That's just it. So we unfortunately get nothing for that one, but, you know, we tried our best. And with that, I'm going to be hopping off for the night, so I wanted to say thank you to everyone who tuned in, and to remind you guys to check out momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com for all of your singles and Magic needs. Anything from snow basics to full art basics to staples in the format that you prefer to play, momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com has you covered. If you're watching on YouTube, check down that description box below for all the links that I'm going to be talking about. But also try to tune in live sometime to interact and have a good time like Siggy always does. On top of that, if you're watching live on Twitch right now or on YouTube in the future, check out our Facebook page, Mom's Basement Games. Give us a like. Follow us on Twitter at MomsBasementMTG. And also hop back over to our YouTube channel for the best standard, modern, legacy, vintage, commander, pauper, pioneer, and now vintage cube content. On top of that, I would super appreciate it if you gave me a follow on Twitter. My Twitter's at RichardTMTG. I talk magic, memes, music, League of Legends, anything else you want to talk about, hit me up there. You can also find the basically mini tournament report / mini article. It was a lot of words. You can find that on my Twitter, my Facebook, in the Pandemonium Pioneer group on Facebook, or on my Instagram, RichieT2196. Or you can find more content from all of us at Mom's Basement Games on Mom's Basement Games on Instagram. But with that, I think I'm going to bid you all a good night, and I will see you Thursday. Have a great day.